All right, so now we're going to start talking about relative frequency. We're going to talk about relative frequency by rows, relative frequency by columns, and relative frequency by totals. Now, you guys, there's a lot of good videos out there, so if my video stinks, you can go watch some other videos, and they might make it a little bit better. But the reason why I wanted to make a few videos here is because I know how I created my questions, and I also know kind of how I want you to process some of this stuff. The other thing that's really interesting about this is some of you are going to get this, you're going to be like, dude, that's the easiest thing ever. And then some of you are going to struggle. And I'm not exactly sure why that is. It's just, I've just noticed it over the years, okay? So if you're the ones that struggle and you need a little bit more support, call me, text me, whatever, and I'll do that. I'll help you, okay? No big deal. 406-651-9072. So, relative frequency by rows. Okay, that's a really big idea right there. Relative frequency by rows. Well, first of all, what is relative frequency? Relative frequency means, okay, as you can see here, we're still talking about the soccer team, the kid that decided, well, did he want to have a soccer game or did he want to have a dance, right? And here in the black, I have the raw totals. All right. So there was 46 girls that wanted to dance, right? 40 boys that wanted to dance. There's if you added them all up, there's a few more people that wanted to play soccer than wanted to dance. Okay. So, but what we're doing now is we're saying, okay, now let's compare this to, let's find some frequencies. So here's what we're saying. Of all the people that wanted to play soccer, okay, 74% were boys, 26% were girls. Of all the people that wanted to dance, 12% were boys, 88% were girls. And then if we talk about everybody that took the survey, 57% were girls and 43% were boys. So in the last question in the last worksheet, it said something like, so if you were Rashid, what would you do? Well, boys, if you're smart, you only have one choice. The girls wanted to dance, right? 88% of the girls wanted to dance. And if the girls are happy, then everybody's happy. So if you're a boy and you didn't put dance, you're dumb. All right. So anyway, just thought I'd give you little words of wisdom there. So do whatever it takes to keep the ladies happy, and then you'll be happy yourself. That is how to have a good life. Okay, but really, if you look at it, there's many different ways that you could parcel out this data. Okay, but this is called relative frequency by rows. Now you could ask yourself, given everybody who played soccer, okay, so we're talking about this row here, given everybody who played soccer, what is the percent chance that they're a boy? Well, the answer would be 74%. Okay, what if they said, given everybody who wanted to dance, what is the probability that they're a girl? Well, you could have said 88%. Given everybody who took the survey, what is the probability that they're a boy? 43%. Okay, so this row, when we're doing it this way, the totals are soccer, dance, and the total number of people that took it. Okay, so that's how this works. So as you can see, also, in order for me to get this number, I went 54 divided by 14. Sorry, opposite way. 14 divided by 54. That's what gave me my 26%. Okay, 40 divided by 54. That's what gave me my 74%. Okay, 46 divided by 52. 6 divided by 52. Okay, so I'm taking the part and dividing it by the total. 60 divided by 106. All right, so that's how you're getting your relative frequency by rows. Okay, we'll talk about the next one here in just a minute. As you can see now, this is going to be a chart that we're going to make that's relative frequency by columns. The other one was relative frequency by rows. So now we're relative frequency by columns, okay? So the way that we're going to ask this is we're going to say, okay, given that you're a girl, what is the probability that you wanted to play soccer? Okay, that's a big idea in the question I'm asked. Given that you're a girl, so we know we're talking about this column right here, what is the probability that you wanted to play soccer? Well, the way you do that is you take 14, the part, divided by the whole. Okay, so Tanya, will you do 14 divided by 60 for me, please?
0.23.
0.23 what?
333.
Okay, so 23% rounded properly. Okay, so then that means obviously this guy has to be 77%. Now, you might want to double check it, but we know for sure that it has to add up to 100, right? So 23 plus that will save you a little bit of time. Okay, Tani, I want to know, given that there were boys, what is the percent that they want? What is the probability that they wanted to dance? So I'm going to go 6 divided by 46.
0.130.
Okay, so 13%. Okay, so obviously then 87% wanted to play soccer. Okay, now this is the one part. Don't expect these to add up this way because that's not going to work out for you, right? When you're doing relative frequency by columns, the question is, okay, out of all of the total people, how many wanted? What was the probability that they wanted to play soccer? So I'm going to go 54 divided by 106.
51%.
Okay, so 51% of the people wanted to play soccer. 49% of the people wanted to dance. Okay, so if Rashid was just going with the majority, well, then soccer would have been the choice that he would have made. Okay, so can you see how it's relative frequency by column? So if I asked a question, given that the person sampled was a boy, what is the chance that he wanted to play soccer? 87%. Okay, so that's how if whatever the given is, that's the column you look in, and then okay, given that the person taking the poll was a girl, there was a 77% chance that they wanted to dance. All right, so the next one we're going to do is relative frequency by totals. All right, so now we have the board set up relative frequency by totals. Okay, and I have some of these pre-filled in because I didn't want to take the time on the video to do them all. But notice what I did here. In order to get the 13%, I'm dividing by the total down here, which is 106. So I went 14 divided by 106, and that's what gave me my 14%. Okay, 46 divided by 106, that's what gave me my 43%. 60 divided by 106, that's what gave me my 56%. Now this is what I wanted you to see was kind of cool about this, is that when you're talking about relative frequency by totals, then yes, your columns and rows should add up. So if 13% of the girls that wanted to play soccer, 13% of the total. Wow, it shouldn't have been that hard. Okay, so now here we go, 38%, because these actually have to add up. Now, if I went 40 divided by 106, I guarantee I'd get 38. Okay, so obviously this is going to be a 6% here. Okay, and now if I add these up this way, that's 44%, which makes sense. 44% that way. Also, 56 plus 44 is 100. So when you're doing your probabilities by totals, then then all the columns and rows are going to add